Having liberated the 5 kingdoms, Kenna turns her attention to a greater threat. The Iron Empire. 2 weeks after defeating Luther Neferkis at the Battle of the Bay, Kenna and most of her trusted companions are traveling across the ocean to Morosi, the Iron Empire's capital.
There it is. I can see land on the horizon.
Finally! I swear, if I don't get out of this flying death trap soon, I'm going to throw myself into the ocean.
That would be very counterproductive.
It is fortunate we salvaged some of Hex's airships. Imagine how prickly Baal would be if this journey had taken weeks instead of just days.
Correction! I'm going to throw Raiden into the ocean.
Kenna, I must admit, I'm unsure of this plan of yours.
You're not the only one. But our only alternative is to fight the Iron Empire with Luther and his army at our side.
Pass! Hard pass.
The Empress of the Iron Empire has agreed to meet with us, to broker peace between our lands. Isn't that worth a chance?
Yes, but for all we know, we could be flying right into a trap.
It is almost certainly a trap.
Trap or not, I'm feeling optimistic. My mother dreamed of peace between the 5 kingdoms, a dream Luther shattered. Now that we're close to making that dream a reality, we need to think about what comes next. Just think. We may be able to resolve our conflict with the Iron Empire without further bloodshed.
I don't know, Your Majesty. To me, this all sounds too good to be true.
Well, you know what you have to do when you meet the ruler of the vast and terrifying empire that may be plotting to usurp your kingdom?
Challenge her to a single combat.
Dangle her off a cliff until she cops out the key to the royal treasury?
No, outdress her. My best tailor is standing by. She has the most gorgeous blue silk.
You brought your tailor along on a diplomatic mission. Did you bring your hairdresser as well?
Did you not bring yours?
Ahem. Anything that gives the impression of confidence will only help us.
He's not wrong there. A show of strength early on lets them know you won't be intimidated.
So, what do you say, Kenna?
Kenna spends the next few hours being measured, fitted, and primped by Annalise's tailor. Afterward,
Well, think this will make the right impression?
I believe this will have the desired effect. Yes.
Hells, Kenna. One look at you and that Empress won't be able to string 5 words together.
How will Kenna negotiate if the Empress can't talk?
I'm sure we'll find a way. How much longer until we arrive, Whitlock?
We should be nearing the capital now. I'm going to bring us down for landing.
Good. We need to resolve this as quickly as possible. There are other matters that need my attention.
Kenna moves to the window and clutches the railing, unwilling to let the others see that her hands are shaking. Say steps up beside her, speaking low so that only you can hear.
We will find him.
It's been weeks, Say. It's like Dom vanished into thin air. And Hex, gods, she could be doing anything to him. I feel like I'm about to fall apart.
You must stay in control, Canaris. I will not lose Dom because you let your emotions waken you. Do you hear me? He needs us to be strong.
I hear you. Thank you, Say.
Say nods, then walks away.
All right then. Let's go meet the Empress.
Whitlock sets the airship down on a large floating platform on the outskirts of the city. As Kenna disembarks, a smiling young woman with red hair comes over to meet Kenna.
Welcome to Morosi, honored guests.
Thank you very much, Miss.
Clover Hapley, handmaiden to Empress Azura, who shines brightest. And you must be Quinn Kenaris of Stormholt? My goodness, you're so pretty. Oh, dear, that was far too forward. Please forgive me, Queen Kenna. I don't know what came over me.
She gets that a lot.
I'll take it as a compliment, Clover.
You're too kind, Your Majesty. If you'll please follow me.
Clover leads Kenna through the soaring palace and onto a balcony overlooking the city. Immaculately dressed guards and attendants line the balcony, watching her curiously. A tall, serious man steps forward to meet them.
Halt and state your purpose.
My Lord Joran, may I present Her Majesty Queen Kennaris of Stormholt.
Pleasure to meet you, Lord Jorin.
Jorin's eyes flicker from Kenna to each of her companions. His expression goes dark as he takes in your weapons.
You dare come before the Empress who shines brightest so armed? Are your 5 so-called kingdoms led by uncouth savages?
Mind your tongue, or I'll cut it out.
I would like to see you try, you uncivilized.
A slender hand alights on Jorin's shoulder, calming him and gently moving him aside.
Peace, Jorin. I'm sure they meant no insult by bringing their weapons. Now, are you going to announce me?
Queen Kenna, you stand in the presence of Her Radiance Empress Azura, the light of truth, the guiding hand who shines brightest of all.
It's an honor, Your Radiance.
Azura looks at Kenna up and down, and her eyes seem to bore straight through her. Suddenly, she smiles and sweeps into a graceful curtsy.
Your Radiance?
Oh my!
Confused, Kenna whispers to Raiden, who stands right beside her.
What's going on?
Something tells me Her Radiance isn't in the habit of bowing to anyone, ever. Now would probably be a good time to curtsy back.
Kenna returns Azura's curtsy, and the Empress glides forward to kiss her on the cheek. Her skin tingles beneath the touch of her lips.
Empress.
Queen Kenna, the drawings sent by my spies do you no justice.
Thank you. I think.
If you'll excuse me, Your Radiance, I have duties to attend elsewhere.
Azura nods, and Clover curtsies deeply before retreating into the palace. Azura turns back to Kenna.
Now, I believe you refer to this land as the Iron Empire, but I've always found that title rather harsh. Its true name is Dusitora. Welcome, all of you.
Empress, this is Sir Leon Sterling, my crown guardian.
I have heard tales of your bravery, Sir Leon. Your queen could not ask for a more faithful protector.
I'll protect Kenna to my dying breath.
I'm sure you will, my friend.
And this is...
No need to make full introductions. I'm already familiar with your entourage, Queen Kenna.
Is that so?
Care to test me?
Gladly.
Raiden Likel. You're a mysterious one, aren't you? Yours is a name whispered in shadows.
Raiden bows politely, never taking his eyes off Azura.
It warmed my heart to hear that you and your sister have reconciled. Why did Ada cast you out of Lycos all those years ago?
Forgive me, Empress, but I would rather not say. It was a private family matter.
Of course. How rude of me to pry.
Azura turns to Kenna.
Satisfied?
You've obviously kept a close eye on us.
It's important to know your enemies. It makes it easier to find common ground should the opportunity arise for peace. Now come, let me show you our beautiful city.
Azura beckons, and they all follow her to the balcony railing. The city of Morosi is laid out below them, buildings sparkling amid the mist from the waterfalls.
Very impressive.
Sure, all these tall buildings look pretty, but I feel sorry for those folks who have to climb all those stairs.
It does keep one in excellent shape, but there's always the elevator if you're in a hurry.
The water elevator?
A suspended platform raised by police.
But to lift one that high, how in the world do you power them?
They must use water. I can see water wheels attached to many of the buildings. Those would easily provide enough power to lift the elevators.
That makes sense. With waterfalls this size, you must be able to extract a massive amount of power.
Very perceptive, Your Majesty.
Azura gestures at a large factory across the chasm. The thundering water turns several large wheels on the sides of the building.
With the power of the waterfalls, we are able to drive their elevators, power foundries and factories, mine ores, and much, much more.
This is incredible. No other kingdom has access to this much power. Do you all realize what this means?
Yes, they could take over the whole damned world. Tell me, Empress, how many of those factories are busy churning out weapons?
Some. War is an ugly business. But if I must fight, then I will do whatever I can to win. And what about you, Queen Kenna? Did you not use a technocrat war machine against your own castle when fighting Prince Marco?
I wasn't using my war machines to conquer, only to reclaim my home. Can you say the same?
You assume the worst of me already. You must have spoken with Luther. I must say, I didn't expect you to trust anything that man says.
Believe me, I don't.
Has Luther told you why this war started in the first place?
He didn't have to! Everyone knows you invaded the Five Kingdoms. It took years to drive you back across the ocean.
Watch your tongue, old man.
Interesting how no one will question what everyone knows. Do you want to know the truth?
I'm here, aren't I? I'm willing to hear your side.
We will decide for ourselves what is true and what is false.
Many years ago, I approached each leader of the Five Kingdoms with an offer. Pledge fealty to me and receive all the knowledge and prosperity that Dusitora has to offer.
Oh, is that all? You just waltz in and demand that they all bow to you?
Goodness, that couldn't have gone well.
It did not. Unsurprisingly, Luther's father was the first to declare war on us. The rest followed his lead soon after.
And what? Now you're going to make me the same offer? You'll share your wealth, but only if I submit to your rule.
Yes, that is my offer to you and every other ruler across the sea.
There's just one problem. What gives you the right to rule everyone?
This throne was not handed to me, Kenna. I was born with nothing, which means I had to earn everything. I only ascended after proving that I was the best person to rule. My wisdom guides this empire, and my strength protects it.
Azura gestures to an ancient carving over the balcony door. The words are in a strange language that Kenna does not recognize.
It says, for every life, a purpose. It is the founding principle of Dusitora, that everyone must play their part in order to build a better world.
And what's your purpose, if I may ask?
To lead, to guide my people to that better world. I can deliver everything that I promise. The proof is all around you.
Kenna looks down at the city below. She sees workers filling into a factory, jostling each other playfully. She sees children playing in a pristine courtyard, and a bustling market full of bright fruits, artworks, and spices.
With my guidance, the Five Kingdoms will become a utopia, a land without sickness, war, or hunger. Can you give that to them, Kenna?
No, I can't. At least, not anytime soon, though I still question whether you can either.
You'll see. All in good time.
Kenna suddenly hears footsteps and looks up to see Clover hurrying onto the balcony. She's carrying a small gray bundle in her arms.
I'm so sorry to interrupt your radiance. I didn't know what else to do.
It's all right, Clover. Tell me, what's wrong?
Clover holds out a bundle. Looking closer, they see the small, shivering body of a wolf pup.
Oh, the poor thing's missing a leg. What happened?
One of the hunting parties found it in the woods. He must have gotten separated from his mother and then attacked by something.
Whitlock rushes over to examine the pup, his face stricken.
He's lost a lot of blood and he's so cold.
Say lays one hand on the wolf pup's side. A gentle heat radiates from her skin, and the pup's shivers begin to ease.
It's too late for him.
Are you sure?
Perhaps. If they had found him hours ago, but not now, he is gone.
No, not gone.
Azura steps forward, her long white hair floating around her. Tiny sparks begin to dance across her skin, and her eyes grow brighter until they shine a brilliant blue.
What?
Electricity crackles around Azura's hand as she lays it against the wolf pup's still body.
Live, creature. Live by my hand.
Power surges down Azura's arm and into the wolf pup. The little creature trembles as its wounds begin to close before their eyes.
Impossible!
Burning black hells. How is she doing that?
The pup twitches, then yawns. He lifts his head and looks up with curious golden eyes.
Hey, little guy.
Kenna reaches out and strokes the wolf pup's head. He wiggles excitedly, trying to lick her fingers.
Oh my gods! He's precious!
But how? He was...
Azura sways on her feet. Jiren steps forward, catching the Empress just as she begins to fall.
You should not waste your strength, so.
I would not call that a waste. Clover, please make sure the creature is given to a good home. Perhaps one of the guards would like it as a pet?
Wait! I mean, excuse me, Your Radiance, but maybe we could take him with us?
Whitlock gently examines the stump of the wolf pup's missing leg. The pup snuffles excitedly at his metal hands.
If we take him back to the lab, I could make a prosthetic limb for him, just like mine. I could replace this lost ear too, actually working from the emotive properties I used on the Mechator. I may be able to map his neural patterns into a verbal approximation of...
Speak plainly, boy. I'm becoming vexed.
I might be able to make him, talk.
Talking puppy. Kenna, talking puppy.
If you wish to keep him, you are of course more than welcome.
Well, we definitely want to keep him.
Clover happily passes the wolf pup over to Kenna. He wriggles in her arms, licking every part of her face that he can reach.
I think he's excited to come with us.
Whitlock scratches the wolf under the chin, laughing as it gnaws on his metal fingers.
Just you wait, little buddy. I'll have you scampering around in no time.
He is strong, this one. He has the heart of a warrior.
Dibs on training him. He's gonna be the best guard dog ever.
You training a wild animal? The pup's already got better manners than you'll ever have.
I will fight you.
Such a little darling. Can you sleep in my room, please?
Something tells me we'll need to take turns.
Kenna looks back to the Empress Azura as she steadies herself against Joran's solid shoulder.
Queen Kenna, I'm afraid I must retire for a short while to replenish my strength.
Of course. All that lightning looked strenuous.
A handsome attendant hurries forward, offering his arm to the Empress.
Please, Your Radiance, allow me.
Accepting his arm, Azura affectionately strokes the man's cheek.
Thank you, dear one. If you would help me to my chambers.
It is my greatest honor to serve you, my Empress.
And mine to accept your service. Queen Kenna, you've arrived at a special time. This month is a celebration of light, a festival commemorating the anniversary of my rule. Central to the festival is a tournament, and the final rounds take place this evening. We would be honored if you were to submit a champion.
Them, Your Radiance? But they didn't compete in the earlier rounds, and they're not...
They are guests of the Empire, Joran. I think we can bend the rules just this once. Besides, everyone knows you're favored to win this year. Bringing in a famed warrior from the Five Kingdoms might just make things more interesting.
We'll be there, Empress Azura.
Wonderful. Until then.
Azura walks off, arm in arm with her attendant. Jiren shoots an angry glare their way before stalking off in another direction.
Looks like someone thought he was sure about to win the tournament. Tell me I got to teach him a lesson.
Later. Let's get back to the airship for now. We have a lot to discuss.
Back in the airship, the wolf pup wobbles around the bridge, sniffing everyone and everything as they discuss their meeting with Azura.
Well, that was a lot to take in.
Yes, can we discuss how Azura has the power to raise the dead?
A most intriguing development. It seems that magic is alive and well in the Iron Empire.
And did you see the way everyone looked at Azura? It's obvious people adore her.
yeah, especially Mr. It is my great honor to serve, but I know how he's serving her right now.
After everything I'd heard about the Iron Empire, I was expecting a cruel dictator. But she's different.
It's all an act. The woman's a lying snake, and anything she offers is a trap.
No one's clamoring to join the Iron Empire, Leon, but how can we not consider it?
You're joking. You'd hand over Aurelia on a golden platter to that witch?
She didn't say that. Annalise is merely weighing her options.
And one of the options is rolling over for Azura like trained dogs.
Do you think I like kneeling down to another ruler? I have to consider what's best for my people.
What do you think, Whitlock? What's the most logical course of action here?
I think we need to gather a lot more information before we can make an informed decision. But my first impression is that people seem happy here. Resources are plentiful, and technology makes life easier for everyone.
And you, Kenna? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking this is hopeless. Something tells me she who shines brightest won't rest until she rules the whole world.
I agree. There's no way she'll settle over anything but complete control over the 5 kingdoms.
We'll have to be very, very careful if we want to leave this city in one piece.
Right, so are we gonna talk about this tournament? Because I want to punch Joring in the face, preferably several times.
Perhaps we can take turns.
Are you sure this is wise? I thought the whole point of coming here was to avoid fighting the Iron Empire.
It's just a tournament, Annalise. We're not exactly clashing on the battlefield.
Joining the tournament is probably a good idea. If nothing else, it buys us time while we decide what to do.
It will also provide an opportunity to learn more about their culture.
I am interested to see how these people fight.
Me too. And I'm going to be the one fighting them.
Like hells you are! I didn't come here just to look at the scenery!
Actually, I think Leon is the logical choice.
I agree.
Oh yeah? And why is that?
Well, for one thing, Leon is a more experienced fighter.
What does that have to do with anything?
The Iron Empire seems to place a lot of importance on ceremony and protocol. You're both incredible fighters, but Leon's title matters here. Sending my crown guardian to fight in the tournament will be a sign of respect.
Val mutters something under her breath.
What was that?
I said I guess that makes sense.
I'm glad you think so.
We're in agreement then. I'll represent Kenna in the Empress's tournament.
Then let's be on our way.
Later that afternoon, Kenna meets Clover outside, and she leads her to a grand temple in the heart of the city. Fighters and spectators mingle among giant stone columns.
Wait, the tournament's being held here?
Yes, Your Majesty. Where else would we host it but the Temple of Warriors?
In the 5 kingdoms, temples are sacred sanctuaries. Fighting inside one is considered inappropriate.
Oh, but there is nothing more sacred than the tournament. It is a symbol of unity, peace, our dedication to the Empire. There is no hatred here, no anger or bloodlust. Blood spilled in this holy place represents the blood not spilled between us in war. Oh, I must go and attend to the Empress who shines brightest. If you'll excuse me.
With the final curtsy, Clover hurries back to Azura's side.
Something's definitely wrong here. No one can be that cheerful. It's unnatural.
Worried it will rub off on you?
The girl seems honest enough. Still, keep your eyes open while I'm out there.
A sudden hush spreads through the crowd. At one end of the temple, Azura takes her seat in a golden throne. Leon steps to the edge of the fighting arena. Azura gestures, and a group of white-armored soldiers move to join him.
For the Empress, who shines the brightest!
May the strongest prevail.
You would fight these warriors in my honor, to the death!
What?
To death?